Welcome to another episode. I'm Kay the Guy. So in today's episode, we are starting part 2 of 3 in the function of microbes in our soil and what they do. If this is your first time here, thanks for joining. So a little info about me. I'm a Soil Food Web graduate of Dr. Elaine's FC and CLP courses in understanding how the Soil Food Web works and functions. In part 2 today, we're going over what are protozoa. Protozoa are single-celled organisms that have a range of shapes and sizes, as well as classifications. For this short video, we're going to focus on the primary beneficials and the primary non-beneficials that are categorized by the curriculum of Dr. Elaine's program. Now, the reason we are looking for only a few types is mainly because these are the most common that give us an aggregate data set that will let us know how good or bad our soil, compost, or intended inoculation like a tea or extract is at the time of use. Now, the types of beneficial protozoan we are counting are flagellates. These tiny, fast-moving creatures are bumbling around, eating and cycling nutrients all around our plant's root surface. They're mainly identified by their movement, which is a bumbling or Brownian type, kind of like a pinball machine, but at a closer look, have a flagellum, which is a whip-like appendage that gives the organism its movement from either the front or the back. Amoeba, which include testate amoeba, and Arcella, which is another type of testate amoeba, and naked amoeba, also referred to as pseudopods. The egg-shaped, slow-moving testate amoeba are great at using their thin tentacles to reach out and pull bacteria into its body. Arcella, which is another type of testate amoeba, looks like a big light brown donut, which the smaller circle inside of the larger circle are the mouth parts used to suck in bacteria into its body. Naked amoeba, also referred to as pseudopods, are a very strange looking creature that oozes along without any distinct shape, reaching out with any parts of its structure and grabbing bacteria as it flows through the soil system. These are more rare, but definitely fun to watch. The non-beneficial or protozoan that are typically seen in more facultative anaerobic conditions that will range from 4 to 6 parts per million of oxygen are ciliates. Ciliates are fast-moving creatures under our microscope and are easily recognized because of their speed and linear movement. They speed along with their short hairs around their body called cilia. These small oars help protozoa zoom from spot to spot, occasionally stopping and consuming lots of bacteria using a vortex motion with their cilia. Again, these are organisms we count when assessing conditions we consider anaerobic. Now, why are we only looking and counting only these types of organisms? Well, again, these are the most common and the first set of organisms that are either beneficial or not, giving us a good indication that our sample is full of the kinds of organisms that we love seeing high populations, because of the amount of nutrient cycling that will occur with them present, as well as assessing the ratio of the beneficial organisms versus the ones that indicate lower oxygen levels and conditions that are more prone to propagating disease, like when we see the presence of more ciliates. Quick fact: protozoan are the primary organism we love seeing in our samples, mainly because they will consume up to 10,000 bacteria per day. That's a ton of nutrient cycling. So how does knowing all of these creatures help us grow plants? Well, once we've established how many creatures we see in up to 25 fields of view, for example, that I would take for a sample testing, we can then calculate the populations we will have for any given system, like a pot, garden bed, or outdoor field. We will use a method of calculating how many creatures we record in our notes, multiply that by how many drops per milliliter, and how many milliliters are in our growing mediums, to give an average outlook of how many beneficial creatures we see and quantify cycling parent material into plant available form. Or another way to look at it, we are taking a visual census on how many aerobic contributors or workers are present in helping our plants grow and convert dirt into plant-soluble macro and micronutrients. So understanding a baseline of microbes like protozoa will help guide the direction of any soil system. It's like having an exploratory roadmap to success. By guiding the direction and promoting the types of organisms we can identify as beneficial, we can help cultivate nature's system by helping keep the system in ranges that is most beneficial to growing food that we can happily categorize as disease-free and full of nutrition for us and our livestock. If you found this information beneficial and want to learn more, be sure to subscribe to our channel and smash the like button so that YouTube shares this video with more people. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you in the next one.